Hey, we are back with another one. And this is tech that I put a lot of time into thinking which watch is best for my usage. And I think that's important for you to think about as well, because there's a lot of different watches out there that you could purchase, of course, many brands. And I will help decide, what could be a good fit for you depending on your usage case. So this here is the Gear Sports by Samsung. This watch, when I purchased it, I got it about a year ago. This was about, I think $200 at the time. And the reason I got this watch is because it acts as a normal smartwatch. And of course it has a focus on sports, so there's the walking function. When you're working out, it will automatically detect that you're working out, and like, let's say treadmill or elliptical or even rowing, this knows you're doing that and will count that towards your daily activities. And so this, for me, I just wanted a basic, I wanted a good smartwatch for a good price. And if you look at, let's say the Galaxy Watch 2, 3, these are usually in a much higher price range, $300-400. So I wanted to find one, and this Gear Sport ended up being that. And I will say the great thing with this is it got some good software updates that made a huge difference in the performance. When I bought this watch a year ago, it was using Samsung S Voice, which was a very old model before even Bixby. So basically what I'm saying is it was unusable. You couldn't really use voice tasks. It was a little weird. But I got a software update a few months ago that actually brought Bixby to this watch's capabilities. And I know not everyone's a big fan of Bixby, but I will say, if you are a Samsung user, you have a Samsung phone, Bixby can do most things that you need it to do with your watch and phone. It's made for that. So I think it was a welcome addition, and I love it. And I'm so glad you can even do things like respond to text and use the voice, your voice, to send a text. So this is it was a welcome feature. So let me sort of show you here the watch. So this is just a layout that I went with. Let's see if I could. Yeah, this is just one I like it. I want to have as much information as possible on my screen when I look at it. So you got battery, 88, the date, you have the time right here, big to see. There's an orange light on the left to show that there's notifications going on, and your steps are there, and the weather, So this is a good screen that tells you everything you need to know in one. Now, also actually a big reason I wanted this watch was because some of the Samsung watches now stopped giving you this revolving bezel here so that you can move and go through certain things, and I really wanted that. So this was one of the phones that was a reasonable price and still had the turning bezel. So as you can see here, you can go through your things here, all your stuff. So yeah. Now, this watch comes with a band here, and it's I would say this is a nice form of rubber, and it's been great for me. I've had it all this time, and it's never been a problem. It's strong. As you can see here, it's a sort of thick watch, but not too heavy. I would say it's just right. Any thicker and maybe it would be a problem, but this watch has been fine for my wrist. Now, on the underside here, this has a scanner which can tell your heart rate, which actually came in handy recently for me, surprisingly. I was actually at the doctor's, and they were like, oh, are you able to check your heart rate, on the go once in a while to just, stay up to date on that with a watch? And I went, oh yeah, my watch actually has that feature, and I pulled it all right in the physical, and they were like, oh, perfect, there you go. So this was a great solution for me. And as you can see here, it's water resistant to 50, I think that's meters underwater, I'm pretty sure. Basically, you know, if you're underwater, you're fine with this watch. You can swim with this and shower, whatever you want. You don't have to take it on and off all the time. Now, when you press this button here on the bottom right, it'll bring you in to all your apps, and you can use this bezel to go through each one, you know. And you see here, Bixby. This was not here when I started, so very good. Yeah, and then so you can keep going, you know, through all the different apps you can get. But yeah, I think the main important thing to see in this is it's also touchscreen settings. So you can select different watch faces. You can use your always on display, vibration intensity, long, short vibration, all depending on your preference, display brightness, screen timeout, your fonts. So you can really customize this watch to your liking. Add advanced features, which I think I'll go into because this is a feature. This is a section I use a lot. So you can use to double press the home key to activate Bixby. So you don't have to use your voice if you're in a situation where, you know, there's people around. Maybe you don't feel like saying, you know, hey Bixby right now, you know, so. Oh. Well, yeah, look at that, I activated it. But yeah. There we go, okay. Just trying to get back to the settings where I was. Okay, advanced features. So now you have wake up gesture, which is when you use your watch and it's on your wrist and you go like this gesture, this movement, it will automatically turn on and light up the screen so that you can see your watch face. Touch wake up, you know, that's if you just want to touch the screen to wake it up whenever you want. Bezel wake up, which is this is the bezel, so when you turn it, that can be what wakes it up. I use that sometimes. That's a nice feature. I really like to utilize this bezel. It's a beautiful feature. Water lock mode, I don't use that, but I think that's, you know, if you're going to swim with it on, it'll lock it so it's not accidentally triggering a bunch of different things while you're swimming. Touch sensitivity is on. You don't want accidental touches, so I like to use that. Do not disturb if you're in a meeting or anywhere, a movie, who knows if that comes back at some point. I think movies are back actually, but yeah. Theater mode, I haven't used that. Again, that's probably just basically movie theater, so that's the same thing. Good night mode, I do use this. You can turn that. There's an automatic feature actually within good night mode where you can, at a certain time of the night, it'll automatically go to this good night mode and save a lot of battery power overnight. Because if you don't do that, it will drain your battery. So good night mode is extremely important for battery life. You know, you can get 3-4 days of battery on this watch, which is, I think for me is very good. I think as long as you can get through the day and get home to charge, that's what's most important to me. Daily briefing, you know, that's news and everything. Your quick settings, screen capture is on, and then, you know, it has all these different suggestions. So that was the advanced features. Now, you have connections, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, airplane mode, all of your apps and permissions, security, your account, of course, accessibility, Zoom notification reminders, general input, date, time, and reset, your battery health, the power saving of watch, and then about your device, software, battery, if you need to know all that. And then you can connect to a new phone depending on if you get a new one within the time you have the watch. So yeah. And yeah, you do have the Galaxy Store on here, so you can get a lot of different apps. Like, let me see if I think it should be, yeah, like back here, I did get a few different apps from the store. There's White Light, which I'll show you. it's just basically a flashlight. So boom, yeah, see? Walking around the house, you need a flashlight. This is very bright, and you can actually turn it to different brightness levels, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it's a flashlight on your watch, which is, I think, a pretty cool feature. Camera. This is an app where you can use your phone's camera and look at, so like say your phone, you're looking under the hood of the car and you stick your phone down there, but you can't stick your whole head and whole body down there. This should be able to show what's on your phone's camera onto your watch so that you can see what's down there on your wrist and not have to bend all the way down and do stuff like that. So it was an interesting one, and I thought it could be useful in certain situations. Yeah, and then another important thing, and you can actually you can use that to swipe through screens as well. But recent apps here, this is very important, because if you leave your apps open, of course, again, that drains battery too. So once in a while, you just want to go through and close them all if you remember that. But yeah, so that is the Samsung Gear Sport. Now, for other use cases, I think a really, really good watch, all-arounder, let's say you have Apple and you don't want to spend the money on an Apple Watch, because those, again, are $400, $500. The Garmin Vivo Fit 3, I think it's called. It's something like that. That is a good all-arounder. My girlfriend Sam, she actually just got this watch, and it was on my recommendation after doing a bit of research. So it honestly acts very similarly to this watch here, the Gear Sport. It's a fitness watch, but it does all the necessary smartwatch things you need it to do. Literally everything that this watch can do, I'm pretty sure for the most part, that same Garmin Vivo Active 3 can do. So, as well as actually a cool feature I saw the other day, you can find your phone with this watch. So you lose your phone, you can go in there and click Find My Phone, and your phone will start ringing really loud and let you know exactly where it is. So really cool feature if you're someone who accidentally leaves your phone in a place you forget. So but yeah, besides that, Fitbit is a good brand to go with. The Fitbit Versa is one that we had before, but it actually only lasted a year. It could just be a fluke. So if you have a good experience with the Fitbit Versa Lite, let me know in the comments, because I would love to just make sure this was a one-time thing where it happens. Sometimes the product isn't perfect, but if in most cases the Fitbit works, then I think that's a good one to go for. And yeah, and I've had other ones over the years, watches, but I will say, for the most part, if you go for those $30, $40 watches on Amazon or whatever, you definitely get what you pay for. They're fine, but that really depends on the type of user you are. If you're fine with just the most basic thing, you want the time on your wrist, maybe a couple notifications, but that's really mostly it usually, and also you have to worry about quality of the watch since it's so cheap. But if that's what you're looking for, then that's fine. You can go with those watches, of course. I've done it myself, but I got to a point where I really wanted something that worked with my phone. It was meant for it, Samsung here. So yeah, so then I ended up going with the Samsung Gear Sport, and I've been with it for a year now, and we'll see in the future. I'll keep updating how long this watch can go for, how long I think it still fits my requirements and my needs. But yeah, this is good. It pairs by Bluetooth to I definitely know for Samsung phones. I'm sure for most Android phones, I'm sure it'll also be fine and pair. So yeah, this goes with the wearable app as well in the phone. You can adjust settings on your phone. If some people find it sort of annoying to have to download apps and go through every last thing on your watch, so they did include that in the wearables app on your phone, so you can just download things and do it by hand on a bigger screen. So yeah, give me your thoughts on the Gear Sport. I would love to hear them. And if anyone else has one, let me know how it's still doing for you. And if you have one of the newer Galaxy watches, please let me know how those are working. I think those are very cool. I think you just have to be willing to shell out a little extra for the experience. But yeah, that's it for me today. So have a good one, and that's that. Bye bye.